News of the fate of Flight 370 obviously devastating for the families. Our correspondent Teresa Su is live in Beijing, where some relatives have gathered waiting for news for the past 17 days. Teresa, what happened after the news was announced there?
Well, Mike, you could imagine last night was the most shocking night for the family members who've been waiting here for 17 days for the news of their loved ones on MH370. Many of them broke down as soon as the news was released. They all came to the Lido Hotel here, right here at the Grand Ballroom just behind me. They were inside. My colleague was in there. She described it as they were just emotionally out of control. Many of them kicking chairs, shouting, angry, really just was the first time that we saw such an outpouring of emotions because, they've been holding on quite strongly, quite reserved. And then as they were coming out, they were shouting at media. Hotel staff was also quite emotionally involved. Understandably, we've been here with them 17 days, and that the hotel staff really have been witnessing all the emotions that the family members have been going through. So they were really telling media not to put them on the spotlight. Family members are angry, and really they're mostly angry about the news, and they said this could not be the news that they've been waiting for. Let's have a listen.
Our relatives were on that flight. This wasn't an accident. Instead, it was caused by the Malaysian government. They are covering up something.
They made this announcement today. Is it really true? What's their proof? First of all, they have not been able to confirm any suspected floating objects. They simply made this announcement today, telling us that no one survived. Everyone sank into the ocean. What's your proof?
That's exactly what the relatives are telling me in their WeChat group. They're all sharing. They're saying this is a hastily, conclusion. There's no way that this is really, in fact, the truth that they've been waiting for. Last night, what happened was they spent 40 minutes drafting a statement and then spoke to the media, and their message was very clear. They say this is wrong, this is unsupported, this is without evidence, and that they want their families back, and they are certainly condemning the Malaysian authorities for hiding information from them. Mike?
Teresa, obviously very angry, bitter as well. Can you tell us what's going to happen next?
Well, certainly at this moment, Mike, as we speak, the family members are already here at the Lido Hotel. But what I'm getting, information from their WeChat group is it seems like they're getting some confusing information, and we're not clear exactly what. In fact, at this morning, perhaps there's a press conference here in Beijing, but we know for sure that whatever happens here in Beijing, they will come here at the Lido Hotel. In fact, they are gathering here to listen to the presser that's coming out from Kuala Lumpur to be held by the Prime Minister. Now, as I mentioned earlier, is that they gather last night to convene amongst themselves that they will take certain possible actions. They have not specified what, but certainly they've been, outwardly expressing their anger against the Malaysian authorities and the Malaysian Airlines for not handling this properly and not giving them, proper information. Some of them have mentioned that they really demand the ambassador of Malaysia to be here present. Now, what happened yesterday was the Malaysian ambassador in Beijing led the morning briefing to them, but then they were told that the high-level delegation had actually left Beijing and that they were supposed to return, but so far we have no word about that. I also understand that from their chit-chatting that they are seeking legal advice. We do see some legal advisors here. We don't know what's going to happen. What it sounds like right now, they are too emotional to really think too far ahead, like, for example, in terms of compensation. But all we know right now is that this is certainly a heart-wrenching experience for those living it and for those of us watching it. Live in Beijing, back to you in D.C.